gun out the belt clip.
That's what I'm telling you. You saw the gun, you've seen the video as an example. The gun is removed, correct? And there's no belt clip that is on the gun when it's in his hand, correct?
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, when you're saying, well, this isn't the same gun because the prop gun had a belt clip, you can have the gun separate from the belt clip, correct?
If you take it off, I'm assuming, but I'm not too sure.
Okay, so what I'm asking you is, when you look at that gun itself, other than the belt clip, and the fact that you are saying, you can't see the magazine in that photograph, correct? No. Here, let me give it to you right now. Can you see it?
Oh, no.
So you would agree that because of this photograph, you cannot see the bottom of the firearm where the magazine would be, correct?
Because of the photograph.
Yeah, but, right, but you can't see it, right?
No. And then you also can't see if the belt clip is not, so I'm not sure.
So, but here's what I'm asking you. Because you can't see the entire belt, you can't see the magazine, and you don't know if there's a belt clip, other than that, this gun looks similar to the prop gun that you've seen the defendant with, right?
Well, I'm not sure. I can't say that.
So what I'm asking you though is this gun appears to be a semi-automatic, right? It's not a revolver.
It's not a revolver.
Okay. And the prop gun that you saw was a semi-automatic, correct?
Yes.
What color was the prop gun that you saw the defendant have?
It was black.
And was it black all 3 times you've seen it?
Yes.
All right, I want to go to the next image. By the way, the firearm was behind the defendant's bed in his house approximately 5 months after this incident occurred. Are you following me? I want to ask you, you were told that the defendant was told that he needed to carry a prop gun for protection against violence or home invasion, correct?
I was never told. I never told anybody.
So, where did you get the information that Rocky carried a starter pistol for security measures after being the victim of violence and home invasion? Where did you get that information from?
Because when I seen him, and the days that he had secure on him, he had no security.
Okay, so my question is are you aware that the defendant kept real firearms, not prop guns, in his bedroom next to his bed?
No, I did not hang out in his bedroom.
So, would you agree that if the defendant was keeping real firearms next to his bed, that would be a different step than keeping a prop gun for protection?
Can you rephrase that?
Sure. So let me just show you the 2 other photos. 3 other photos. So, going to the next photo, this is that same handgun. The evidence is indicated it's a 44 Magnum semi-automatic. Do you see at the bottom? Can you see what looks like a magazine on the bottom or no? Do you recognize that?
No, I've never seen it.
Okay. You go to the next image. This again, next to the bed, and you will see a gun case where you go to the next photo. Inside the gun case, by the defendant's bed, is a rifle. Have you seen this before?
No. I'm sorry.
Did you ever see that before?
No.
Did you ever know the defendant to have a rifle in his bedroom?
No.
Let's go to the next image, please. Do you know what this is? Can you see what's pictured? Do you know what that is?
Is that the same rifle?
No. Do you know what? Do you see in the front? Do you see those things that have red on top, you know what those are?
Yes.
Yeah, do you know what those are?
Those shell cases, those shells?
Those are shotgun shells. Do you know what shotgun shells are?
No, not especially.
Okay, so what you see here is a shotgun. That's the evidence that's been presented in this case. So my question is, were you aware that next to his bed, in his bedroom, the defendant kept not a prop gun, but a large caliber .44 Magnum handgun, a rifle, and a shotgun? Were you aware of that?
Right.
What's the objection? That's not, I didn't ask for a date, I didn't ask for a date. What? Say again? Are you aware that when the search warrant was served, approximately 5 months after this incident, that the defendant had these firearms, a .44 Magnum, a rifle, and a shotgun next to his bed?
As I said before, I did not hang out in his bedroom, so I did not know what he had in his bedroom.
But you testified it was your understanding that the defendant was keeping a prop gun for, among other things, protection against home invasions, correct? That's what you testified to.
Yes.
So, do you know why, if the defendant was keeping a prop gun for protection against home invasions, that he had a large caliber handgun, a rifle, and a shotgun next to his bed?
Objection, speculation.
Are you aware?
But as ASAP Rocky's attorney said previously, that the weapons he had in his home were all registered.
That at the time of the incident, that the defendant did not have access to security, is that correct?
Correct.
And you said it was because of COVID, is that right?
Yes.
But weren't you at a giant concert the next day in Long Beach that had all kinds of security?
They provided security.
Well, so are you telling me that the defendant, your testimony, was not in a position to have security if he wanted it on November 6th?
Can you rephrase that?
Isn't it true, Mr. Phillips, that the defendant didn't have any security on November 6th because you and he and Hills did not want any security there when you were going to attack Relic?
That's
I reject what Bill's and Rocky wanted.
No, those are not grounds for objection.
Calls for speculation of minor and other complexity.
The question is not called for speculation. Now, so you must say. What's that, Mark?
Oh, well, wait, read it back. I'm focusing on the first part of the question. Read it back.
Isn't it true, Mr. Phillips, that the defendant didn't have any security on November 6th because you and he and Ills did not want any security there when you were going to attack?
Isn't it true that you knew in advance that the defendant was planning on attacking Relic?
Yes or no?
That's not true.
Do you know when the defendant ended up first having the prop gun that day?
Well, as I stated before, I was staying at the Park Hotel. I did not wake up at his house. I'm not too sure what was going on before that.
So, is it your position that there was no security available for the defendant that evening? Or is it your position that he just didn't want the security? I'm trying to understand what is your testimony.
Can you rephrase that?
So, there was no security when the three of you, Mills, and the defendant, met up with Relic, correct?
Correct.
So my question is, are you saying there was no security because there was no security available? Or are you saying there was no security because you guys didn't want security?
There was no security available that he hired. They had security at complex con already. So I felt as though this is what I believe. Why pay for extra security when you have security at the venue?
Well, so wait a minute. Haven't you said that the defendant has been a victim of repeated incidents of violence when he is out on the streets?
I never said that. I said we were in a club and a situation happened in the club.
So you mentioned in your statement that he has been a victim of violence and home invasion. What did you mean by that?
Well, I was with him when we got jumped in the club and cut. And it's been situations where I've been in the house and it's been like stalkers outside with signs and stuff like that.
When you say cut, you got stabbed.
Yes.
Who got stabbed?
I got stabbed and Rocky got stabbed.
And when was this?
2018.
And this was in your home, his home, is that right?
No, this was we was out at a club. We was at a club.
So my question is, you're saying there was security at the event in Orange.
Yes.
So my question is, you're now in downtown Los Angeles, right? How did you describe downtown Los Angeles earlier in your testimony?
It's pretty crazy downtown Los Angeles.
So you're in downtown Los Angeles with the defendant, Hills, yourself, and there's no security, is that correct?
Well, security wasn't needed. We was going to see one of our friends.
Stay in the ground. Yes, this states, that's what's not changed now.
Exactly. Very
It's
just
it's assumed facts, not negatives. This happened in Hollywood, it didn't happen downtown.
I'm staying downtown.
Let me back up. Do you agree, is what you said about downtown Los Angeles and the dangers, do you believe that applies to Hollywood as well?
Yeah, they have homeless people in tents in West Hollywood as well.
You would agree that the area where you were meeting up with Relly in front of the W, that is an area where there are plenty of individuals who are homeless and violent like downtown Los Angeles, correct?
Possibly.
Well, is that your experience?
Yeah.
So, my, so my question is, did you choose, or the defendant choose, did you guys choose not to have security that night, or are you saying there was just no security available?
We had security for the complex con event. From there, we left. We were going to go to another show. But before that, we were going to communicate with Relly because we had another show the next day, which is complex con. So there was no need to have security. It wasn't going to be any issue. You know, these are friends. We've been friends for the past 20 years.
But you indicated he's going to be out on a public street in Hollywood, where he's a well-known individual.
Yes.
And don't you agree that given what you said, that whenever he is out, that he is at risk?
He's very recognizable.
So my question is, isn't it true that the reason that you did not have any security with you that night was because there was a plan that Relly was going to be attacked?
That is not true.
Time to move on. To another topic.
Time
Now,
to
you said it
move
was,
on.
it said that it wasn't Rebecca. You said that ASAP Relly knew and said, hey, that's a fake gun, correct?
Correct.
Are you aware, was it common knowledge as far as you knew, that Mr. Bader carried a rifle?
Yes.
And when you say it was common knowledge, where was it common knowledge? Who knew that he carried a rifle based on, general reputation?
Pretty sure his close friends, family, and circle. It wasn't something, because if he's out here telling people, yo, I got a problem, you never know who can tell somebody else who's put in another dangerous situation.
So you're saying that it's not that everybody out there knows he's carrying a rifle, it's just close family and friends. right?
Yes, and brothers are close family and friends.
Did you ever know the defendant to carry a real firearm?
No, but I did know he had a permit.
We're going to motion to strike the second part is non-responsive.
Everything after no is free.
So I want to start at the beginning of the day.
Know that he has a permit.
So I want to
For a
start
real
at the
fire.
beginning of November 7th. Where did you sleep the night of November 6th?
At the Lamar Hotel.
And were you by yourself?
In my room, yeah.
Yeah. You had flown out before that from New York, is that correct?
Yes.
How'd you get out here?
Flight.
Did you go commercial?
It was a regular flight. It wasn't first class. It was just a regular flight.
You didn't fly out, the defendant didn't fly you out private?
No.
No. All right, so you fly out, when do you land?
Either the first or the second.
Okay. And where did you stay between the first and the second and the seventh?
So the La Park Hotel wasn't too far in the area, so we would hang out at his crib, whether we creating or just having a good time. This is the 10-year anniversary of the Lucky Sap, so we had a lot of friends and family in town. So we was going back and forth from the crib to our hotel. Like, he had family there, so we stayed at the hotel.
Right, by his crib, meaning the defendant's home in West Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
The home where I've just shown you the picture.
They don't know the
of
slang,
defendant,
you know.
correct?
Yes.
And so you're saying you were actually at that house, not months before, or months after, but literally the day before the incident occurred?
Yes.
Was Ills there too?
Yes.
What about Relly?
No.
At this point in time, were you aware of any, I'm not asking you to explain what it is, so listen to my question carefully. Were you aware of any issues between Relly and the defendant on November 6th?
Rephrase that.
So were you aware of any problems between Relly and the defendant on November 6th?
A problem? No.
Were you aware of any animosity or hostility going either way?
I was aware that two brothers wanted to have a communication with each other, and they were trying their best to reach out to one another. That's what I was aware of.
When you say they want to have a communication, isn't it true that the two of them were having issues with each other?
I wouldn't say issues, they just weren't communicating on the same page.
And by not communicating on the same page means that the two of them were having a problem, and your belief was they needed to work it out. Is that right?